Alright, so if you remember the last video, we rebuilt that power booster. I think you might know what's going on here. Let me show you what we got going on here because, well, I think there were some parts missing off that power booster. I think the check valve was boogered up, so we went another route. So the original one, that thing's dead as a doornail. It would just slam shut. I think the valve was bad. So we bought a 9-inch booster, just a generic power booster from Classic Industries. We had to change the bracket just a little bit, factory. Got the pedal mount there. One thing nice about this is now, instead of the single service master cylinder, we're going to go to a double, which means now I got to get the rods set in this thing. So let me see what we're doing with the lines. So I must be living right because managed to get all the lines free off this little block. Right, so the one coming up from the back, right there, we'll just couple that into the one side. The left and the right, we'll bring that into the other. And then we'll have a dual service master cylinder. So we got to finish bending some lines and then get the bleeding brakes and, well, get this beast moved, right? Because we got to get these freeze plugs done as well. If we're ever going to get this thing back on the road, it needs some work. And there must be a hornet's nest somewhere on this thing because, you know, they're everywhere. They're not that bad right now, but they have been. Did manage to get the lock replaced, so it's little things that count. Remember, subscribe to the Russ and Dink Garage. Help us grow. Let's dive in. We'll have to bend that at a pretty close 90. So it's going to have to be beat down as far down as I can put it. Trying to film and hold all this stuff. So this stuff kinks super easy. So make that a quick 90. And I'm using the extra ductile stuff, so if you have to work it a little bit, it's not going to break on you. Bend this up 90 degrees. And the nice thing is this will go from a single service to a dual service cylinder. And what that means is the front and the back will have its own lines. Warm it up just a little bit just by, pretty much just by handling it. And that allows you to bend it a little bit if you want to. Let's see. Let me get the wipers eventually working also. Typical old car stuff, the wiring is atrocious. We're only going to put in the easy bolts. The ones I got to turn my hands into a 12-year-old. We'll put those in later. This thing eventually will need some firewall work too. But it's a 1963, so you can pretty much guess everything is going to need a little bit of work. So there's not a lot of room under there. Kind of interesting. It's the fuse box in the back of the light switch. I took that out trying to find fuses. And that is interesting. That is a foot operated windshield wiper control. So this will go here. An old trick from tube bending. I'm going to lay this piece of brake line out and I am going to mark it every ½ inch. And that way I can tell how much material I need to leave how much material I need to leave for that U I need to bend. So I'm just going to put the fitting right up against there. And we're just going to bend us a nice tight 180. So I know there's a half, 1 1.5, so almost 2 inches of material just for that one bend. All right. So if I say that cut it, flare it, and bend it. All right, so we got those lines all mocked up. Now we've been through quite a few pieces of tubing. You can see we've done a few. We've done some cutting tapes, quite a bit of fittings. Let's go out here in the sun and show you what we got going on here. My problem is that I've had it connected a couple times, but I just don't like an organization, right? Although the garage sometimes will tell you something different. All right, so we've got these all bent up to the back. I think it looks a little cleaner. Get that in there, lock the power booster down. You got to put some plugs in there, and then we'll be good to go. But let me show you one more time how you make a double flare. All right, so double flare is fairly easy. Once you get the right clamp, it's easy. So you just put this in your clamp and you get these little buttons for whatever size you have. You'll stick that up the height of the die. Now I'm actually using the clamp out of the single because for the 3/16 it just slips. So I'll just come in here, I'll just chamfer this real quick. And then I blow the lines out all later. Put the button in, and the button's got that little cone on the top for the tool. You'll squeeze this until the button ends up on the clamp. Big thing is that it's not just pushing it out. Then I've been having to get the pliers to pull the plug. And then you can see the mushroom right there. Then you just come right back behind it with the same tool. And then you just set the second part of the flare. Then you have your double flare for your brake lines. Don't use compression fittings, it's not going to hold. Quick and easy double flare, good to go. Tightened up, and show you what the next phase is. Bench bleed it. They got metric, they got regular, all in these kits. They have all the different fittings in the kit. So if you've never done a master cylinder, don't just put it on and put it in a car or the truck or whatever, because that'll become a mess. And you just let me get these down in the fluid. You just pump the air out of it. And I'm just looking for the fluid to start coming out of these lines. It's much easier here than trying to pull it through the whole system on the car. We need to make a push rod for the... I'm going to start with cutting it flush and we'll trim from there. Get it all back together, so now we have to fish this dude in here without destroying everything. Alright, so we'll finish getting everything in here and then we'll see if it works. I'm not going to make you guys watch me tighten everything up, so be right back. Alright, so a big upgrade. So we got the new dual service master cylinder, new power booster in, the new brake line's all bent in. I like that a lot better. So at least that way, if you lose front or rear, you don't lose all of it. You know that's the problem with the single service. You lose one, you lose both. So let's start getting these bled out. Alright, so I know we're getting fluid down here because this was full of brake fluid. The cylinder wasn't moving. And when we pulled the cylinder apart, well, the fluid just come running out of it. So this will end the video on the power booster and the dual service cylinder. Yeah, that's it. So hope you enjoy things like this. Stick around for this old Meteor. You don't see many of these left anymore. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Please remember to subscribe.